Hello, YouTube. Thought I'd do a quick video here. I've been asked a few times in emails how small are these components or parts in a GMRS radio. And I thought, well, before I put my repeater back together, I thought I'd quickly show you. I'll try to give you a comparison. I am using a digital microscope just to make that, obviously, you can probably see that, but I'm going to try to give you a comparison so you kind of have an idea how small these parts are. And this is in the Retevis RT97 GMRS repeater, two-way radio repeater. This is the circuit board out of that repeater. This is going to apply, you're going to see these components in handheld and probably even mobile radios. But to kind of give you an idea, I have a push pin. I don't know if you people know what that is. There is the standard, it's got the little silver head, push pins. Not the type with the big plastic heads, but the standard silver push pins. And I'm going to put that, this is the head of a push pin. And I'll put it next to the component here. And that component that I'm going next to is on one side it's a capacitor, the other side it looks like to be a diode. So that should give you, I'm going to set this right here, kind of give you an idea. And yeah, the push pin is actually, the head on the push pin is actually bigger than the part. That's how small we're talking here. This is a diode, this is a capacitor. These right here are resistors. These are a little bit bigger, as you can see. This is a transistor here, but you kind of get the idea. So some of the parts are very, very tiny. Even this right here, which is obviously bigger, is still, still fairly small. These little ones are real miserable. You breathe wrong, and if you're trying to solder them in, if you breathe wrong, or anything like that, you can blow them away off the board as you're trying to solder them. But that should give you an idea. Like I said, this is a push pin, one of those silver-headed push pins. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea how small parts we're talking about when it comes to this. And they use these small parts in everyday electronics. They use them in TVs. They use them in just about everything nowadays to keep things small. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So it can make it real tricky for people when they try to do modifications. Like for an example, the sound fob or the USB sound card modification that's out there on the internet to hook up your Raspberry Pi to your radio. And some of those parts on that are pretty small too, that people have to try to remove. You have to try to desolder it. And it kind of even give you I have a very fine tip in my soldering iron, and I'm going to put that soldering iron right next to it. You can see even the finest tip is getting pretty big. That's my finest tip. I mean, it's like a micro tip on my soldering iron, but that's my soldering iron right there, to kind of give you a little more perspective on how this, how it looks like. Which makes things difficult for an average person who do not have the equipment to modify. And that's kind of the problem I was kind of facing when I was doing this or trying to modify this repeater. I was trying to do it so that people can do it fairly easy. Like perhaps maybe instead of soldering a wire onto here, you can solder a wire onto a bigger part. Here's the wire I soldered, and let's take this pin. And let's show you, that's how small. In my last video I just posted about can we modify the GMRS two-way repeater, yes or no. This gives you right here and how small. That's that head of that pin. That's how small I was soldering. So that was another hurdle I was trying to avoid. For people that don't know, that can't solder real well or don't have a digital microscope or nothing like that. How can they be able to do this? I use my digital microscope for many other things besides the GMRS, so it's not a big deal that I already have one. But at any rate, but yeah, that gives you an idea. That's the mic input I was talking about in the video. That's how small we're talking. Like I said, this is the head of a push pin. I mean, it's tiny. So I hope that kind of gives you guys some perspective here on you know how small we're talking. So, at any rate, I just want to quickly shoot this video to kind of show you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. And please subscribe, and thank you, and have a good day.